Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 335 of the Player One podcast for Monday, April 1st, 2013. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, is a man who paints Pokeballs on his Easter eggs, but it gets a little messy when he tries to catch them all, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Those aren't Easter eggs.
Testicles.
Oh.
I didn't say that. I'm back.
Yeah.
I haven't been on the show in a while. The show has been a little lackluster lately.
Well,
so I'm pleased
some
to
might
be
say improved.
Who would say that? Who would say that?
Somebody
the guy
out
who
there.
fell in love with Patrick Klepek at PAX would say.
Oh, right.
That's right.
He apologized for interrupting the show, I saw.
And he didn't need to.
He didn't need to.
Perfectly
Of course
fine.
he didn't need to. I mean, this show's a mess anyway.
It's true.
What's he doing? Messing it up more? Come on.
He just sort of added some character.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. And joining us from the Great White North is a guy who hoped for years that the Tomb Raider nude code rumors weren't just an April Fool's joke, Mr. Greg Seward.
There was actually patches released. It was interesting. They actually the
You've
game
downloaded those.
Game trailers ran a history of,
those.
or a Pop Fiction episode about the nude code, and they said there was sort of an unwritten rule at core that you weren't allowed to deny that the nude code existed, even though it never really existed. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
God, that reminds me that we're about to get flooded with horrible April Fool's jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
If
that's
it
right.
hasn't already started.
God,
Yeah,
It's been
April
Miss
1st.
EGM.
Tomorrow's going to be a mess.
Remember that great April Fool's joke you came up with, CJ, for Smash Brothers, except the impossible task you asked people to do was totally doable?
It was possible. Yeah. Exactly. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Some
I had fun
amazing
crafting
videos
some of
sent
those.
in.
Yeah, completely. All right, and rounding out the cast is a man from the great state of Utah. And his favorite Easter eggs are laid by a golden geese.
Oh
Mr.
my God!
Mike Phillips.
Nice. That is hands down the
These
best
might be the
intro
best
you've
ones
ever
you've done.
Yeah.
Although he said a golden geese.
Yeah. A golden
Little
geese.
play on words.
Yes, play on words.
Okay.
Wordplay.
Okay.
That's what it is.
It works. Trust me.
Okay.
It's good. It's really good.
So how the hell are you guys? I haven't spoken to all of you at one time in quite a while. 2 weeks, right?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
Pretty good, you know.
Good.
Playing some
Good.
video games? You playing some video games? Eh?
I've been playing video games.
Well, let's talk about some. What do you think about that?
I play video games.
Yeah?
You guys play video games that aren't even out yet because
That's
you're
true.
part
That's
of the
right, bitch.
media elite at PAX
That's
East.
right. Yep.
Yeah, we stand in
riding
line
Patrick's
for 2.5
coattails.
hours.
I want to hear which ones of those were worth standing in line for because
None.
it sounded awful.
Yeah,
None
none.
of them.
Yeah.
Good.
Last of
So
Us
I
was
should
cool.
cancel my pre-order for The Last of Us?
No, it's not to say that they're good games. It's that none of them were worth 2.5 hours in line.
No.
Yeah, that
That's
seems,
not a surprise.
that's
Well, I'm
insanity.
glad I did not end up waiting in the
DuckTales line. The DuckTales line pisses me off because for the first half of it, there was some dude who was running the line, some Capcom dude who was running the line. He was totally not paying attention to how long people were playing. So it took forever to move through the first half of the line. He was too busy chatting with his friends. And then when he got relieved, the new girl that ran the line was like, "You got 7 minutes and then you're gone." So
Yeah.
she was
Now when
very
you
quick.
say when he got relieved, does that mean someone urinated on him?
How long was the
Many of us
DuckTales
wanted
line?
to. It wasn't physically that long, but it was. I don't know how long, CJ. How long did
an
you
hour
stay
and a
there?
half.
Was it an hour and a half?
Because
Wow.
That makes
I-
less sense than any of the others because if you are interested in DuckTales, you have already played and defeated that game, so you know exactly what you're getting into. The
That's
game is like
exactly
an
right.
hour long
Yes.
total.
Yeah.
Why
that
would
is
you even
why
want
I
to
got
try
out
it?
of that line. I got out of the line to go get a drink, and Stuart's like, "Oh, get me some too." So I did that, and came
true.
back, and he was in exactly the same spot when I
Good
left.
Lord.
Yeah.
That just sounds miserable. I don't even understand that at all.
That's because that's when Jimmy No Watch was actually running the line.
Every tweet from anyone at PAX East was about the lines. Nobody tweeted anything about games other than to say, OMG, DuckTales. Everything else was in line.
It's funny, by the third day, they'd actually come to the realization that maybe they should warn people how long the lines were going to be.
That
You started seeing signs all over the place saying 1 hour from this point. And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think chatting and being with pals, that seems like that would be the best part of that. I would probably just skip the lines altogether and just go to a bar and hang out or something.
That was worth it.
That's true. We were standing in the line for The Last of Us, and CJ was like, when I was complaining, and CJ was like, think about all the lines you skipped at all the E3s because you were press.
Oh, that's right.
That's true. But the part of that you need to think about is that I would never have waited in those lines in the first place.
And yet you waited in the DuckTales line.
Yeah, that was stupid.
How was that? Exactly
DuckTales
what you thought it was going to be, right? DuckTales.
It was really good, actually.
Yeah?
I could have gotten everything I needed out of just looking at it. But, it was really nice. It plays pretty much exactly the same.
See, that's what I did. I watched somebody play it for about a minute and a half, and I was like, all right, that's DuckTales.
But
Yeah,
I wanted to get my
watched
hands
all
on
I
the
need.
controller.
I watched
wanted to
the
actually
trailer,
play it.
so I
Yeah.
had roughly the same experience with it as you had.
But hey, now you know that it plays properly.
That's true.
That it controls properly. So,
What did you play it on? A 360?
yeah, it was 360.
So you had that perfect D-pad to use and an NES controller exactly.
Yeah.
Nice. And you see, while Stuart was in line for DuckTales, I went to the Fuse panel.
Yeah, boy,
Was that
you really
Ted
want
Price?
it better.
Was it what?
Was it Ted Price running the show there, or who was that?
Yeah, Ted Price was on the panel, and it was Greg from IGN. Greg Miller.
Game Over Greggy?
Yeah, that's the one. And it was such an awkward panel. Such an awkward panel.
Q&A.
Yeah, the Q&A started off with the guy who prefaced his question with a minute long.
You got to remember the best part was when they said, "Okay, we'll take some questions." This kid's hand shot up like Hermione in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like me. And then when they said the microphone was over here, he jumped up and ran to the microphone so he'd be first. Like it was headband guy all over again.
Yeah, I was going to say, did he attempt to ask the question in Japanese?
Yeah.
No,
So
he
what
prefaced
was
his
his
question.
burning question?
He prefaced his
Kuraisu-sama.
question.
Allow me to ask in your native tongue.
Is Nintendo a cool place to work at?
Yosh!
No, he prefaced his question with about a minute-long preamble about how he likes Insomniac's games and how he likes the concepts that he's heard about with regards to Fuse, and then proceeded to say that he liked the original art style better.
Yeah, and why did you change it to
And
suck?
why did you change it to suck? Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, but
There
it
you
was
go.
a pretty awkward panel in general. Like, it was in one of the bigger rooms, and there were not a whole lot of people that showed up, and it started 15 minutes late, and it was a weird tone. Because I felt like everybody who asked a question wasn't really feeling the game all that much. I don't know. I mean, this is the game that nobody wants from Insomniac. Like, people know.
that's a
No
good advertising
Insomniac.
campaign. That's a hell of a pitch, CJ.
No, I mean, they know
nobody wanted
Insomniac
in
from
the
Ratchet
world.
and Clank, and personally, I love their games. I love, Ratchet and Clank and the first two Resistance games at the very least.
You should trade 2 for 3 there, but okay.
Yeah.
And then they're making this that seems like such a generic shooter, and it just doesn't seem like anybody wants that from them. And to have a panel on a game where they even called it the sleeper hit of 2013.
Yeah.
Weird.
They
like we're
did
gonna.
that themselves?
Well, I imagine it was
I think Greg chose the
It was
title.
probably Greg Miller that came up with the panel name. But I mean, why even do that to yourself?
Yeah, that's setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah.
So standing in line for the game's not worth it. Panel's not worth it.
I went to a cool rock band panel.
Just the after
cool
party
rock band
where
panel.
they hire broads to come dance with you. Is that it? Is that the only thing?
Oh
that's worth
man,
it?
let's talk about sexism in the game industry because we haven't heard enough about that.
That's
for the
my
past 2
favorite.
weeks.
Yeah. But yeah,
While you were in Boston, did you at least go to the site of the Great Boston Molasses Flood?
no,
What?
I didn't.
Why would you not do that?
was too busy standing in line for The Last of Us.
Well,
That's why.
you could have been memorializing the victims of the great Boston molasses flood.
Yeah.
This joke's going nowhere.
You might be the weirdest guy I know, Phil.
What?
It is entirely possible.
Why?
I don't
That is
know.
true.
1919. The big
We had a little
Boston
listener
molasses.
meetup. That was a lot of fun.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
It was great. And also met with a couple listeners just out and about on the show floor at
They actually get
both
stopped a
PAX.
few times.
Yeah.
And PAX and GDC, actually.
Did you sign any autographs?
Nope.
Yep. On breasts. Men's breasts.
Really?
Lots of
Male
moves at
boobs.
PAX
None of
that
them
you could.
none of them asked for it, but I kept offering.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That's cool.
And then I had GDC the week after, which
that's true.
And it
was a
seemed
lot of
like
fun,
not a damn thing came out of that either this year. Like nothing.
yeah, no real news.
Some more Destiny concept art. That's exciting.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of reporting on the PS4 panel or session that they had, but I thought all of those details were things that we knew.
Yeah.
So
Seemed like it.
nothing was news. And Nintendo's booth, usually they have like some games at GDC. So I purposely didn't play anything at PAX because I didn't want to wait in those lines. And I was like, I'll play it at GDC.
Yeah, CJ was so proud of himself with his plan.
That's right. And then
Yeah, I don't need to
they didn't have any games at GDC. Their booth was all about like Miiverse tech and web interface technology for the Wii U. Like nothing.
That's fucking fascinating.
No games. Yeah. So that was good. But anyway, why don't we get into some games since quite a few things have come out in this last 2-week stretch.
Like what?
Like, let's talk about Lego City Undercover first. I want to talk about
The
that.
sleeper hit of 2013?
This is the true sleeper hit of 2013.
I friggin' love Lego City Undercover.
But Phil, it's for the Wii U, which is an inferior system,
It has no
and
games.
it doesn't have off-screen TV, off-TV play, and
No, it doesn't.
the load times are terrible. How can you like a game that
Yeah,
is
the
on
load-
an inferior console?
The load times
For
aren't
one.
great. The load times are definitely not
But
great.
when are they ever on the Wii U?
Yeah. But
Load time's not great.
holy cow, it's a fun game. Have you played it, CJ? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played a whole bunch. I'm
Oh, did you- A whole bunch. Last I heard
bunch.
on that podcast that I wasn't on
yeah.
when I was
I'd only played it like an hour and a half.
yeah, like I was
Yeah.
in between the
played
moments
some,
when I was nodding
yesterday.
off. What?
I
Oh,
played
did
some-
you? Excellent. How far are you?
CJ had his wife set up a webcam and hold the controller. Relayed commands to her.
I got to the look at Mike just like sitting back. He's
I
not
know.
participating.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
I don't want to
Section.
disrupt anything.
He doesn't
Yeah.
care.
I have a beer. I'll just listen.
No, I'm got a little bit after the point where you learn karate at the
Oh, okay.
Karate.
Okay. Do
dojo
you have any
area.
special?
Then I had to drive this police trailer back to the station,
Okay, yeah, the big
And,
truck thing.
the big truck thing, and
Right.
I crashed it off of the bridge.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm on like chapter 11, I think, right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
I actually, according to the game clock, I've like 22 hours or something like
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Shit.
I'm
I
only
want to know
like
what
game.
is
It's a really-
good about this
That's
game.
about 4 times the amount of time I've
It's-
actually spent on my Wii U since I bought it.
oh man, it is okay. Well, it is essentially a GTA
Yeah.
through a Lego filter.
Okay, so here's
GTA
my
or
question.
Crackdown. You
Yeah.
can
So
say
those big
Crackdown.
open world games, GTA,
Yes. Right.
Crackdown, even Assassin's Creed, something like that. The massive appeal of that is
Right.
the world and being able to explore the world and being in a unique, interesting, beautiful world.
Right.
Yes.
Does that exist here?
Made of Lego.
Because
Actually-
then
well-
on the Lego side, the cool thing about the Lego games is they
Right.
have these funny, cute send-ups of culture
Right.
that I assume don't exist in
Well,
this
this
game.
No,
So it's sort
that's
of
where
like
you're
the
wrong.
worst of
No,
both
this-
worlds.
this
That's where you're
game-
wrong.
Okay.
This game
This-
is funny.
hit me.
This thing is a huge. It's like pop culture riff after pop culture riff. Like
It's
it is-
basically instead of
So
just
is the whole thing a GTA spoof, basically?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say
I mean,
so. But there are
it's
a
just
lot of
Spoof on a parody, on a satire.
well, there are a lot of spoofs inside this, like a Shawshank Redemption bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he have to
Yeah.
crawl through a pipe full of
Please,
shit? 'Cause that
please
would be
tell me
awesome.
that's yeah.
No, there is no poo pipe, sadly.
That's a surprisingly adult reference for what seems to be a kids game.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what though? I tweeted this a couple days ago, but when I was playing the game, later in the game there is a joke about a character attempting to shove an apple up a horse's ass. And granted, it's presented in a kind of
I'm becoming
kid-friendly
increasingly
way,
interested in this game.
but a character does talk about how he attempted shoving an apple up a horse's ass.
Wow.
You know, for kids.
Good, clean American family fun.
Yeah. But
no, it is a really
it's,
funny game.
It's
I
but
really
it's just
like
instead of
Cheeseball, but
instead of just here's a bunch of Star Wars jokes,
Right.
it's
Which is okay.
Which is great. You know, I love the humor in the other Lego games, but it's kind of original comedy, and we have our own characters with their own funny little quirks, and here are jokes and situations based around them. And then they do have all these. You know, there's a lot of parodies of 70s and 80s cop shows.
yeah,
that's
there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
There's a big Starsky and Hutch
Oh, nice.
thing
Yes.
later in the game that I got.
Is there a
to,
red
and-
Gran Torino?
Oh yes, of course.
Nice.
It
Yes.
couldn't be a Starsky and Hutch setup if there wasn't.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But it's a really funny game, and the world obviously is not as realistic as you would find
No.
in like a GTA or something, but as just here's a giant world that is populated with Lego sets and Lego cars. There's a crap ton to explore.
Yeah.
And as you progress through the game, you get new outfits that give you new abilities. So, you'll get
Like Batman and Superman, Luke Skywalker.
No, like you
Yeah.
do the minor level, and then when you get the minor costume, you can break into safes and what else? Doors.
Well, when you get
Doors.
Bars.
when you get that's when you get the thief outfit.
Well, miners are like
The thief. The
Yeah,
thief. out?
the
Oh,
burglar.
you're right. You're right. You're the robber,
Yeah,
not the miner.
the
The
miner
miner-
has a pickaxe for breaking rocks. Strangely
right.
enough,
You're right. You're right.
And he can
Because the
manipulate
robber
dynamite.
outfit comes right before the miner.
if anything, if miners are known for anything, it's breaking and entering.
breaking in it, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
no,
figured.
there's an astronaut outfit that lets you do space kind of stuff. I just got a
Spice
firefighter
commercials?
outfit. Yes, so you can
It
put out
sounds more
fires.
interesting than I thought.
Yeah, it's actually
There's that huge open world section, and then there are actually like level-based missions that are
Right.
dotted around the city. So,
yes.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
a
awesome.
surprisingly fun game.
And
I mean, the
load
combat.
the load
is
times
nothing.
are bad, but they're not like after every single scene. Like
Right.
usually, maybe like once every 10 minutes it'll load for a minute.
Well, it's pretty much when you are in the open world running
Yeah.
around. There's no load time, but whenever
Right.
you start
Go
a
into a
mission or finish a mission
yes.
or going into the police headquarters is when.
But
you
even during like inside a mission, like for cutscenes and such, there's no load time there.
oh no,
It's just
no.
yeah.
And yeah, the fighting is just as simplistic as it is in all the other Lego games,
Yeah.
but the focus is on just the exploration and finding all the secrets and building all the superstructures and things like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's definitely gone from a game
great.
I'm never going to touch to something I do want to check out eventually.
yeah, you should
It's
Yeah.
really
give it a
good
try.
fun.
It's surprisingly good, and obviously I've liked most of the Lego games, but
I have too, but it goes back to
Yeah.
what Mike said. I mean, I honestly never thought of Traveler's Tales as a
right,
very good developer. I thought
Right.
they hit on a sort of a golden formula with the Lego games, which they've never really deviated from since.
right.
But I kind of looked at Lego City Undercover and thought, well, this seems like it's a little bit too ambitious for them.
No,
And now it sounds like they pulled it off. So.
it's surprising how well it works, and I hope that this is kind of the template for Lego games in the future.
right.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm kind of hoping that they start steering away from the license stuff and just start doing here's space Lego the game, and here's like the castle themed.
Oh, I love Space
Lego
Lego
games.
game. I
Yeah,
loved
stuff like
Space Lego when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, well that's just it. So that's
Cool.
what I want to say. Yeah.
They need to hurry and get a pirate-themed one out before Assassin's Creed 4.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. So, let's talk about Luigi's Mansion
Game of the year.
for a little bit. Why don't we?
Haven't gotten
Game
it
of
yet.
the year.
You haven't
Is it
gotten it
great?
yet?
No, not
Oh
yet.
my god,
I
it's so
haven't
good.
either. I'm
It is
dying to get it, though.
so good.
It's great. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm not making any progress in Bioshock because I can't put down Luigi's Mansion.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Wow.
it. Talk to me in relation to the GameCube version. Like, what's different? What's
It's
the same?
basically everything that was good about the GameCube version and just been ratcheted up. Like, that's the thing that really gets me about it, is that one of the great things about the GameCube version is that it just like really had so much personality and charm. Like, you
Right.
just loved the way they characterized Luigi, and even the little things like when he's walking around kind of nervously humming along with the soundtrack and that sort of
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Just so many great little touches like that. And Next Level Games hit every single mark with that. Like,
Yeah.
they just, every time you go into a new room, it's interesting and exciting and charming. Like, that's the best way to describe that game, is charming.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I can't say a bad thing about it. Even the control is good. That was my biggest worry, was because you know, like with Luigi on the GameCube, it was a dual stick game,
Yeah.
right? And it worked really well. And I was a little bit worried with a single analog stick how that was going to turn out on the DS, but they really did a good job with it, actually. It's really
Yeah, they
intuitive,
did.
and yeah, like within
They
minutes.
use
you've got it down
either the tilt controls, or you can use the X and B to
to look up and down.
to look up and down. Yeah.
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 What
and
was
it
I
works
don't
really
recall
well.
what the right stick was used for on the GameCube. Was it
It
to
was
fight
to
the ghost?
pull,
or whatever,
yeah,
to
it was to
random
pull the ghost
Okay.
back.
Pull
Like
ghosts.
when you
Right.
catch them in
Oh,
the
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
poltergust, you
That makes
pull them
sense.
back. So with this now, that when you catch them in the poltergust, use the right shoulder button to activate the poltergust, and then you just pull back with the left analog stick.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did find that in this game there are a lot of sort of untutorialed things that you can find and
Really?
discover.
Hmm.
Yeah. So for one
There's-
thing, like
Yeah.
when you're pulling a ghost around, let's say there are multiple ghosts in the room, you're vulnerable to attack from others.
Yes.
You can jump around the room with the B button.
Say what?
You can jump around the room
How?
with the B. You can dodge, basically.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so hit B, and if you're about to get hit, you will lose what you were sucking the ghost in. Like if you have him down, you'll have to
Oh, okay.
recharge that. But you dodge getting hit, which you would have lost the ghost anyway.
I've done that, so I didn't realize that's what I was doing. It was mostly, there was one boss in particular where there were like 3 ghosts, and if you grabbed one of them, the other 2 would attack you.
Yeah,
So I was actually doing that, not realizing I was doing any kind of move, I guess.
yeah.
But the other thing about the game
bosses
too,
are pretty cool. Did you get to the end of the first mansion?
oh yeah, I'm in the middle of the second mansion right now.
Yeah. There's like a spider boss fight in the first one that's really quite good.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Multi-step, quite well done.
The mid-level boss in the second mansion was quite good too. Actually, I really like the way they set that up.
Yeah, definitely.
So
the
it
other
sounds like
thing-
it's relatively long then too, right?
I've played for like 6 hours so
I
far.
think there are 5 mansions or so, and I've
Jesus, and you're on number 2.
seen it
Yeah.
between like 12 and 15 hours.
Well, here's the
Nice.
thing too.
So
now,
quite a
I mean,
bit of game there.
you can run around. Like when you go in, every room is pretty much a puzzle.
Mhm.
And they're all pretty different. You can run around and skip a lot of stuff, but there's so many things to discover in that game too, which is another thing I really love about it. That I actually, when I get into a new room, I explore it like from one corner to the other.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
Because you end up with a flashlight, a dark light, and your poltergust. So far is what I've got, and they all have different effects on everything. Plus, you can just generally interact with certain objects.
Mhm.
So, and you know, like, yeah, there's just a ton of stuff to discover: hidden rooms and treasures, and extra ghosts that are sort of hiding,
Extra lives as
extra
well.
lives. Like, it's just there's a ton of stuff to do in that game if you want to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
How
can't
is,
recommend it enough.
How is the 3D and graphically? I assume it stacks up pretty well to the GameCube version, right?
Yeah,
It does. Yeah. It looks great. And I'm not playing with 3D on, so I can't really speak
Well, you
to
never
that.
do.
But
Yeah,
That's true.
I am.
that's weird.
I find it with 3D, the only complaint I have, one is that you can't really use tilt controls for the camera.
Right.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can,
absolutely.
but it kind of destroys the effect.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah.
that's a real pisser.
And two, every time he comes back to Egad's little lab, it does that thing where it almost feels like they put everything a little bit too close to the camera. Because I'm getting a lot
You
of
get double vision,
happening there.
Yeah.
and ghosting.
Once I get into the actual game, that doesn't happen.
Right.
Some
right.
ghosting.
Yeah.
Dude, I get it.
Poltergeisting.
But yeah, it's marvelous. It's like
Cool.
Yeah.
you've got to get it. I know you guys are going to, but everyone else listening to
Yes.
this, like, you've got to get it on
Yeah,
your
I'm
3
down to get it. I was gonna try to justify getting it for my daughters for Easter, but then I wasn't sure which one of them I would give it to, and so I decided I'd give it to neither of them, and I'll go get it myself. Happy Easter, ladies.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, I played some of the online mode as well.
I haven't tried that yet.
Oh, yeah?
Scare Scraper. So I played, 10 level game with some folks over the internet.
How does that work?
And you have 4 Luigis, different
What?
colors, different colored hats and whatnot. And you have to clear all of the rooms on each level, on each floor. And the boss characters have like 300, 500 hit points. So it can take a while to get them down to 0. But yeah, you have to clear all the levels in a floor, or clear all the rooms in a floor, and then they have this roulette wheel where after everything's cleared, they put 4 red coins around in the different rooms, and depending on how many coins you have, that's how many spots on the roulette wheel you have. So if, let's say I'm playing with 4 people and I collect 3 red coins, then 3 of the slots are mine, and only 1 is one other player. So I can get like a power up for my poltergust, or extra life, or whatever. It's pretty fun. Yeah, and the levels are quick. So a 10 level game, a 10 floor game for me was like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So went quickly.
You couldn't possibly have known this, but to properly pluralize the name Luigi, you just changed the pronunciation to Luigi.
Luigi. Okay.
That's how that works.
Yeah, but it's great. Yeah, Next Level did a fantastic job with this
They
game.
really did.
I mean,
Cool. They did
yeah, and I
good
went
work.
back to our game club episode where we were all kind of begging for a sequel and how it totally wasn't going to happen. And
Whoops.
It is.
here it is, which is awesome.
Yes.
By the way, Mike,
Too
talking
good.
about buying games for your daughters, I got to play a little bit of New Leaf. at
Oh,
PAX.
shit.
Oh, yeah?
How was that?
That is, it looks really good, actually.
Cool.
You can snorkel now for a whole new set of animals you can find
Oh,
under the
no.
sea. Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Nice.
there's like a tropical island you can visit, and you're the mayor now, so you can actually like lay down paths in your town and do city ordinances. Actually, it's like Sim City if it wasn't busted,
Wow.
but for kids.
That's pretty cool. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm ready to introduce my daughters to snorkeling yet. Is that, or am I misunderstanding what that means?
You're misunderstanding what that means.
Okay.
It was completely innocent.
Okay.
Oh, and I just want to say I met Brian Davis, one of the guys who worked on the gameplay
Yeah,
for Luigi's
yeah.
Mansion at Penny Arcade and GDC. Actually, hung out
Awesome.
with the 8-4 guys and him, and yeah, he's just a really nice guy, super nice,
Cool.
and gets to work on awesome games like this.
That's true.
So, yeah, he actually did that first spider boss fight. Which,
Oh, really?
was awesome.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah, there's an Iwata Asks where he's interviewed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so check that out.
Yes, you guys need to get it so we can talk about it in a little more detail.
And
Yeah, I
play
don't wanna
Scarescraper.
Talk too much about like the different encounters because it'll really give too much away.
Yeah,
I do need to get
don't want to
it.
ruin it for you. For sure. All right, let's talk about Bioshock.
Bio
Which
what?
one?
Bioshock.
Bioshock?
Yes. How? Now, CJ,
Yeah.
you've been away. How far have you gotten in the game?
I'm on the way to doing the thing that you mentioned in your email.
Okay, so you're not quite there yet.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm going to mention
this
what that is.
Very informative. For
I'm going to mention what the thing was because
All right, this
that
minor-
thing.
you know that
it's
email
not a-
that you sent to the
It's
four of
not a
us?
spoiler. It's
That's
not,
not
a
a
spoiler.
spoiler.
Because it's on the
No.
box, right?
Well, it's
She's on the
She's
box.
in every piece of media about
Yeah.
the game. It's
Okay,
not a spoiler
not a spoiler
that
at all.
eventually you are accompanied by a young woman named Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
I sent out an email to the other host of this show earlier saying that, yes, I'm slightly after the part where you meet Elizabeth, so I don't know how far anyone else is, and apparently, yeah, that's not really a spoiler, CJ.
No.
You're
Okay.
good. You're
Well,
good.
good.
Yes. How far are you other guys?
It's been a couple days since I played it.
Really?
You've been playing too much Luigi.
I'm telling you, man, I can't put Luigi's Mansion down.
That is a good
about
game. That is
So
a
I think
really
I'm
good
actually
game.
right around where you are, Phil.
I'm about 75, 80% finished.
Oh,
I have
wow.
just a few
Damn.
hours left. Yeah.
Nice.
Good Lord, man.
I'm. This is another one actually that what I have played of it. I really can't wait till we've all finished it and we do a little spoiler cast.
We
on
should
it
do a
because-
spoiler cast.
Oh, yeah, we totally will.
Yeah, even just a little bit I've played on it. I've been surprised
Yeah.
a few times.
Yeah,
All
it's pretty great, though. I am really loving it so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
What's
awesome.
going on in Luigi's Mansion?
And, we know that I am not a fan of Bioshock 2.
Right.
No soul.
Because I like games that aren't cynical cash grabs. And
Says
This-
the fan of Lego City Undercover. But go ahead.
And Dynasty Warriors 13.
And
To be fair, those are cash
And,
grabs for
they're,
$4.
they're only up to 7 in
Okay.
Dynasty Warriors.
All right.
True.
Unless maybe you count the Empires and
who doesn't?
Legends and
One
the
Piece.
One Piece and
Fist of the North Star.
Samurai. and-
Gundam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah, so is Bioshock 2. But this one really recaptures what I liked about the original game.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I agree with that.
it's an interesting world. I have no idea what's going to happen in it. It's
Yes.
it's fun to explore, and no,
I love the little details in the background as well,
What's that?
like just the posters they have up in Colombia, and
Are we going to talk kind of spoilery bits here? We should probably warn people if we're going to get into kind of.
I mean, we haven't played that
I
far
don't,
into
I don't
the
think
game.
you've played enough to do anything spoilery if you've just barely gotten to Elizabeth.
Okay, well,
Well,
I'm a bit past her.
I
so.
disagree, but yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that strikes me about it more than anything is I was really worried that this was just going to be Bioshock in the sky.
Right.
And I find that actually the fact that you're in a city that's still inhabited,
Yeah.
and hasn't
And
just
somewhat
gone
bustling.
completely to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By sky racists.
it's yeah,
It's
it's a totally different dynamic, which is actually kind of
Yes.
cool. Like,
That was the alternate title
what
for
I
this
wasn't
game,
expecting.
actually.
Those magnificent racists and their flying machines.
That was actually the original working title.
Yeah, I think we have our episode title, CJ.
All right.
By the way.
Wow.
Yes.
But yeah. So how far are you, CJ?
I said how far I was. I'm about to get Elizabeth.
Same part
Okay.
where you are.
What?
Yeah.
That's a cool
I've not
scene,
gotten
actually.
Elizabeth yet. So there you go.
Well, that's Elizabeth. I've gotten out of the facility where she was at, which was an outstanding sequence.
Yes.
And
Yes, it was.
yeah, hung around, did a little dancing.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Jeez.
Yep.
Did a little jig.
Yep.
Yeah. Went for a swim.
Space racist.
Yep. Yeah, I got to the part where the Big Daddy shows up, which was
Which was
Which was
unexpected. Yeah.
unexpected for the Big Daddy to return.
What? Spoiler?
What?
Good Lord.
What? It's not
I
a
think
And
we're
then
just
there was,
gonna-
and then
we
there
just
was a
have
whole
to
basketball game in there. That was the freaky part.
We just
Yeah.
have to stop talking about.
Like we got this. We
now.
got this engine. We might as well use it.
Yep.
City Point challenge.
So that's what they're using the PlayStation
weird.
Move for, right? The dancing
Yeah.
bit? It's like Just
Yes.
Dance 3?
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now I know. Now I know.
Yep.
Sorry for the spoilers.
So wait, what platform did everybody get it on? Mike, I'm assuming PC.
I have it on the PC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what about the rest of us? I got it on PS3.
PlayStation.
Same here.
Yeah. Was there any particular reason why we didn't get it on 360?
No.
No.
No, not really.
Although it's funny because
put out a little.
Yeah, I actually did it because of Phil's
Yes.
tweet where he was.
Yeah.
He said which system is better on PS3. All right.
I sent out a tweet asking for opinions, and of course I got the couple of snotty. The PC one's the best. Which, yeah, I'm sure it is. But my PC's busted, and my PC was crap anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a couple back and forths, but it seemed like the PS3 one was slightly better. But and then you get the free copy of Bioshock.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was. I didn't realize that I was getting that, which is kind of cool because that's the only one I don't on the PS3. So.
Yep.
Nice little extra.
Yes, Finn's very excited
play
for
it
free
again.
games. Finn is very excited for free games.
So what difficulty are you playing on?
Normal.
Normal.
Yeah, same
Normal.
here.
CJ's uneasy.
No, I'm on normal.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I am.
It's really easy on normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Bioshock, was never particularly difficult to begin with.
Right, and it's not a shooter in your typical sense, right? So.
Oh, just you wait, my friend.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get all
I
duty at some point.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide how much I want people to hate my fucking guts. But I think the game.
Well,
Oh, God.
It's
So what you're
it's
saying is
you.
this-
When have
You're
you
really,
cared?
truly the golden geese of this podcast.
I think it's pretty disappointing just in general.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a bummer.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think we're down to 3 chairs again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you talking story or gameplay or what?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Story-wise, to me, it feels like Bioshock in the sky. Almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly. And if the person that I've been talking to via email isn't lying to me, I already sort of figured out what the story is, what Ken Levine's big M. Night Shyamalan twist is this time.
Okay.
And it's the kind of thing that I do not really dig in movies or games or whatever. I think
aliens, man.
the thing
Aliens.
Could
that
be
it comes
all a
down to on
dream.
this is that the
They're in
whole
purgatory.
world building thing that they do with these games doesn't work for me. Like the whole thing just feels like a dark ride at Disneyland for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the second I turn my back, all of the animatronics shut down and no longer exist anymore, and then I turn around and it reactivates them or something like that. And
I can see that.
I would agree with that statement. Yeah, I agree with
because
that.
of that, like even within the structure and the confines of an imaginary, stylized fantasy world, it still feels completely counterfeit and false to me. So I don't really buy into it.
Really?
Yeah. And the Disneyland notion is exacerbated by the fact that I'm traveling with Belle from Beauty and the Beast, which is a little
I
strange,
thought
but
the
that's
exact
okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's because that's who she is. Just
Yeah, I got
keep playing.
right after I got out of the place with her, and we
Yeah.
got down to the area that I won't mention because
Yes.
CJ.
I hear
And-
music.
Yes.
And yeah, and it was.
Yeah.
I was waiting for her to bust in. How she wants more than this provincial life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are also some things that I would probably say might not bother me as much, except I'm coming off of playing this whole gauntlet of, Far Cry 3, Dead Space 3, Crysis 3, Tomb Raider, and now Bioshock 3. And so technically, and maybe it's because it's on the PC too, it feels like a game from 6 or 7 years ago.
I like to consider this game to be System Shock 5.
Yeah,
Really?
I think that's legit. For every beautiful vista, or like Elizabeth looks fantastic, but there are all sorts of crappy low polygon models and shitty textures and
Yeah,
stuff
sure.
that just look like the Unreal 3 engine is ready to be put out to pasture.
Oddly enough,
for
that
all.
whole thing doesn't take me out of the experience as much as you would think it would.
the NPCs are kind of ugly.
It kind of bugs me. And it also feels like you're gliding on ice. It has the feel of a shooter from the early 2000s where
Like Too Human? All right.
No, that was third
You guys
person.
love that game.
But like the speed of your walking doesn't sync with your footsteps, and all, I mean, there's just all sorts of weird shit that feels like 5 or 6 year old games.
Really?
But the other thing is,
Let's start complaining about frame rate next.
frame rate's perfect. Frame rate's perfectly fine. But
They're nickel
just-
and diming you with the season pass, right? Is that what this is
No.
about?
it just feels like Bioshock again,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the first time feeling this time. And
But it never
Once-
would. It never would have, right? I
sure,
mean,
of course.
there's
Which
yeah.
is why I liked Bioshock 2, by the way, because it wasn't going back to the well exactly. I mean, it changed
It's
things
just
up
further
enough that it
adventures
was-
in this area.
Kind of, yeah. But the other thing, and one of the reasons that maybe the game is not really clicking with me is because of those games I played leading up to this are all shoot, and about halfway through the game,
Yeah.
it gets really, really combat heavy. Really combat
That's
heavy.
too bad.
So you need to be prepared for that.
That
And
is
there's
too
just
bad.
nothing so far that's as interesting as when you're wandering around Rapture and see a Big Daddy or hear a Big Daddy from 3 rooms away and think, oh shit, I have to
That-
be careful walking around this guy and then figure out how I'm
Yeah.
finally going to engage him, that kind of thing.
Right.
That I will agree with because while I did say that I like that the place is still inhabited because it gives it I feel like it gives it a different feel.
Yeah.
I don't like Columbia as much as I liked Rapture as a setting.
Definitely.
And you're right, like when you kind of had to approach each area in Rapture really sort of assessing the situation, whereas so far the combat in Bioshock has been pretty much I open a door and 12 guys rush me.
Yeah. The other
So
thing
I
that's
do
not
agree
nearly
with that.
as good as Rapture is the cast of character, the kind of the rogues gallery, like the Sander Cohens and the Dr. Steinmans from the first game. There's nobody that comes even remotely close to those in this game.
Okay.
There are some interesting characters, but nothing on that level.
So what you're saying is, growing up in Utah, this game is hitting a little too close to home.
Well, I was pretty excited after the first 10 minutes or so. I thought, oh shit, I am walking through the Mormon temple right now, and this game is going to be 11 flavors of crazy. And I was pretty fired up for that.
Yeah.
But now I'm just shooting dudes. If it kept doing Mormon theology beyond the first 30 minutes or so, I'd be all over that.
This was funny when I tweeted that I was about to start the game. You were the first person, but then I get like this endless number of tweets from people. It's like, yep, be prepared to live through the Mormon. Like, what is it? Living life as a Mormon in the 1800s or something like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you feel that this game is more of a dimwit and less of a duke. Have you played this game?
Yeah.
What in the world are we doing?
Don't know what is going on here.
Well, CJ wouldn't know.
no.
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's a reference. It's a reference.
I still
to
think
what?
Bioshock 2 is the best Bioshock. And I think it also has the single best, most revelatory, most holy shit moment out of any of the 3 games so far, acknowledging that I have not yet finished this one. So I'll reserve that for later.
Okay.
If this ends up in my top 10 games of this year, it will have been kind of a crummy year.
Ooh,
Really?
Wow.
Ouch.
Okay.
Those
Top
are harsh
10
words that do not reflect the views of the other hosts of the Player One podcast.
Best game I've played
Bioshock.
so far this year is Runner 2. That game is fucking awesome.
Yes.
But you haven't played Luigi's Mansion, so
I have
true.
not played Luigi's
Yeah, do
Mansion.
that
Bioshock
first.
2 is fantastic.
If you come on here and start shitting on Luigi's Mansion the way you've been shitting on Bioshock,
Seems unlikely.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on it. It's just, it is a disappointment.
I'm just kidding.
I'm going to finish it.
all right.
Okay.
Does that mean we're done talking about Bioshock Infinite?
Well,
time
until we
being.
play some more of it.
God. All right, let's talk about some 3DS stuff again. Let's talk about HarmoKnight, which just came out in the West on
Am I the only
Thursday.
one who's gotten this?
I bought it,
downloaded
but
the demo,
I
never tried it.
I purchased it, but I've been playing when I've had my 3DS on, it's Luigi and nothing
Gotcha.
else.
I
So,
can understand why you wouldn't want to at least try a level for the show.
well, I played the demo. Does
Oh, well,
that
there you
count?
go.
CJ's been traveling. When do you have time to play portable game systems while you're traveling?
That makes sense.
I've been playing Luigi during those times.
HarmoKnight is fantastic.
Yeah.
HarmoKnight is really good, and CJ, you will love it.
Oh, I'm
it's-
sure that I liked the demo a lot.
Yeah, it's got that goofy kind of cartoony art style, and it's a fun little rhythm action game.
It's got some fun humor too to it.
Yeah. It's a cute little funny game.
Self-referential humor,
Yes.
at least in the demo.
Yeah, it's actually got a bit more if you unlock the bonus levels.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to spoil those.
Don't. Do they involve
but
Pokemon? Because
they involve Big Daddies. The Big Daddy shows up.
For some reason, Isaac Clarke is in
Yeah.
this. I have no idea why.
But, yeah, it's just a fun little game. It's got the segments that are kind of like Space Channel 5.
Oh, yeah.
Where, yeah, like some of the
I
like the
like
boss
that.
fights. Yeah, the boss
Yeah.
fights are all like, up, left, right, down.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
It's exactly what it is.
That is
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
I'm
boss fight in the
interested.
demo.
Yeah, it's a cool
Does
little.
Apollo smile through the voice?
No.
No,
No sale.
but it's a pricey game. It's like $15,
It's $15, yeah.
which is a lot for an eShop game.
See, I
but-
feel like I can buy Lego City Undercover for $15 in like a month.
Ouch.
Probably
Probably
not.
buy a
probably not.
Wii U for $15 in a month.
That's a
given-
Nintendo-published game. I don't
Yeah,
think it'll drop
given-
that
Yeah,
quickly.
it's true.
Yeah, given that's it's not going to drop like the other Lego titles have.
That's right.
But man, I really hope that Lego Iwata is unlockable in that
There's a bunch of Nintendo stuff in that game too, right?
in
Are we
Lego
still
City.
talking about
Lego
HarmoKnight?
City.
Or-
Nope, now we're back to Lego City.
Lego City.
I can't keep up.
Yeah,
I
question
just
mark
keep staring at
blocks.
Mike looking at his iPad, and I just can't.
All right. So let's talk about a game that'll get Mike
HarmoKnight's
back
awesome.
engaged here. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yes.
Gates
There's,
Infinity.
you know what? There's not much to say about it. I picked it up, of course.
You know, I played the demo and it was so talky that I just decided to skip
Well,
it.
that's the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games
So
are
talky.
This
Yeah,
is the
they
one
are.
where you said it was a roguelike dungeon crawler with Pokemon characters.
That's right.
Could you add one more adjective in there that would
Hang on.
make me less
I have-
interested in it? I don't
I
think
have
so.
something.
Talky.
I have something to say
Talky.
about this.
What?
I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
Knew that was
there
coming.
you go. No, there's not much to say about it. It's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
enjoying it.
just
I like I mentioned though, I did go digital with it.
All right.
Really,
Yep, I did.
it's a brave
go
new
digital.
world.
Yep. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna buy retail of Luigi though.
You should.
I will.
You should.
I will.
All right, let's talk about Tomb Raider really quickly because it says here that Mike kept playing after he
Still rated
finished, which
Tombs.
is
Yeah.
which I want to hear about. Why?
I'm not
you don't-
sure why
You don't,
I
you don't
did
do
that.
that a whole lot, do you?
No, I never do that, and I was not going to do that, but I sat down to play something and thought, man, I really wish I could play Tomb Raider again. And
Huh.
so I just booted up Tomb Raider and kept kind of fast traveling between areas looking for, the random litter that's in the game that you can go pick up. And those are things that I don't generally do either. But I was having quite a good time using all of the
Wow.
tools that you get toward the end of the game to go back to earlier levels and access areas that you couldn't get to before. And I wound up, I did not 100% it, and I think I'm done screwing around with it now, but I had got to like 92% or something like that, just futzing around and going back and using the rope arrows and all of this other kind of shit to find bits and bobs, basically. And it was really fun. I had a good time doing that, actually, which mystified me a little bit. I also tried the multiplayer, which was considerably less satisfying.
And you're a big fan of the Uncharted multiplayer.
Yeah, this was not the
It's
Uncharted
pain cave.
multiplayer, though. This was not good. I mean, it was serviceable, but just barely, and just not at all interesting enough to continue playing.
Huh.
But the most fascinating thing was I did that like a week after the game out, and there are already dudes in there that are like level 66 or some ridiculous thing, like they've just been
Yikes.
playing it hours and hours every night, and they were godly good at the game too, which is in a way kind of fascinating that someone would just latch on to that multiplayer and decide to become expert at it. That's
They all work for Crystal Dynamics.
I'd say there's a good possibility.
Crystal Dynamics QA testers.
Yeah.
But I really feel like that is a game that you lads should play because
Yeah?
it's really darn good.
I think I will end up getting it when it's like 20
$15.
bucks.
There are some things
I've
that
got it. I
you
haven't
should
played
play
it.
it. I will be very interested to hear your take on it, because there are some things that like I wish they would have done with it, or things that maybe I hope that they'll do now that they've taken the time to reestablish it and reboot it, and we can put all of this kind of stuff in the past now and figure out what Tomb Raider is, now that it's been rebooted. Because there are things about the original game that taking them away, I thought, took away some of the personality. Like, it's cool that Lara is a lot more realistic and grounded in an actual person, but that also makes her kind of less interesting too. Right. She's a little bit more generic and a little less
Indiana Jones.
She's less of a character and more just like a real person, which is, kind of a letdown. But I'll be excited to see what they do with it, and I will definitely be interested to hear what you think of the game, Greg, and I think you should play it instead of Bioshock. I'm just saying that.
Yikes.
Wow.
Damn.
Man.
Damn. All right. Well, why don't we do some tweets real quick before we call it a night?
Wow. No breaks tonight. Working without a net.
We're going to do a quick show.
Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams is out on Xbox Live.
Yeah, whatever.
Just
how does it compare to the slideshow that you played on your PC of it?
It's weird. I can actually kind of see what's going on.
Nice.
It's crazy.
That makes it better.
That's a great game.
That game is fantastic.
See,
I got to a boss and I stopped playing it.
Oh,
There's one boss in particular I got to I just could not beat.
I'll get it when it's free on PS Plus.
Nice.
All right. Hacker alias FGE773.
Hey, CJ?
Yeah.
At least download the demo. Download the demo and give it a try.
I'll do that.
You won't, will you?
No. All right, Hacker alias FGE773 says, thoughts on Wii U and future engines denying support for it. Honestly, it's been hilarious. The last.
It seems like such a non-story.
The last week and a half, I think, have been filled with stories like the Wii U won't get blank.
Yeah.
It's not getting Dead Island Riptide, which big fucking deal.
We'll just mothball that thing now.
And it's not getting Unreal Engine 4 again. Who gives a shit? At least in my mind.
Yeah.
Does that mean Nintendo's going to stop making games for it? No. So my level of caring about those non-stories, which the press seems to be eating up.
I mean, it will have an impact. If you don't have
middleware,
then third
multi-platform titles are definitely affected by it. But all of those titles are things that I would buy on PS4 or 720 anyway. It's not going to be oh my god, I'm missing out on Bioshock 2 or something like that.
I just don't think nobody falls for the "we're going to have immense third-party support this go-around" line anymore. So anyone who buys that buys it for the games that they know they're going to get.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
They want to play
the Wonderful 101 isn't using the Unreal 4 engine, and I don't care because that game looks pretty awesome. And,
it's actually kind of cool, and the Wii was similar. There weren't a ton of third-party exclusives for it, but the ones that were there because they made sense to be on the Wii.
Yeah, exactly. And that's about the way I feel about this stuff, this kind of news.
Yes.
Which is great to hear. All right, let's do this one from Hacker alias B-Boy Izilla, who says, what game do you think will be the last commercial hit of this console generation?
The last commercial hit?
Last commercial hit, yeah.
Is Grand Theft Auto 5 coming out?
GTA 5?
Yeah, and what qualifies as a hit, because it'll be whatever the last Madden they release on it in 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that I think even GTA 5 is going to make its way to the other systems, or the new systems, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
If those systems are based on PC architecture, I'm sure Tomb Raider is going to come out for PS4. I'm just sure a lot of that stuff is, the line between this generation and the next generation is going to be blurred anyway.
This guy's begging us to say The Last Guardian.
Gran Turismo 6.
Gran Turismo 6. There you go.
Nice.
No, yeah, I don't know. We may not have even the last one may not have even been announced, but it's probably Grand Theft Auto 5, right?
I would
Sure.
think so.
I'll go with
Why
that.
not?
That's the one that
Sure.
makes sense.
All right, Hackerilius Jacob Norgren says or asks, what are the odds that the Ouya catches on? Is it doomed to be overloaded with Android crapware and rampant piracy?
Yes.
Definitely that.
Yeah.
But for $99,
$99.
I'm totally gonna buy one for $99. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I got my notification this week from Amazon that mine should arrive by June 6th.
Oh, there
So,
you go.
That seems
I will likely never
late.
touch one.
When were
Yeah.
they supposed to ship out? I thought they were like this month.
Well, it is this month for developers, so those have already gone out.
Oh.
And then the retail release is June 4th.
Okay,
Ah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I will get one in June. I'm eager.
Yeah,
to
me too. As I have already ordered one from Amazon. So
That's
Of course you have.
we'll see what emulators come out for it. And,
Yes,
Yeah,
if I
what-
can
what
run my
shows
entire
up?
Sega CD collection on my television again without hooking up my Sega CD, I'll get one.
That's pretty sweet.
yeah.
I,
mean,
I can guarantee you that will happen.
This is just
I might
another
get-
one of those, like, this year is just the wackiest year ever.
Yeah.
Indeed.
If the Ouya is going to gain any traction whatsoever, it's going to happen in 2013 because nobody knows what the fuck is going to happen in 6 months from now. Could be anybody's game, which is an odd place. I don't think I can remember that ever happening,
Yeah.
or not for a long time. So, all right. I think that's about it.
Really?
Wow.
We can do this statement from Hacker Alias Super Stripers, who says, "I bought Dynasty Warriors 7 this week
Oh,
just
Jesus.
because of Phil. Just letting you know
want
my life has come to this."
Now Phil owes me
Aw.
$59.99 plus tax.
Hey, if anything, he owes me.
Yeah.
Or,
Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Brian Joe Smith, who says, "Did you notice that Bioshock Infinite doesn't have a wagon wheel case? Isn't that cool?" And no, I didn't notice because I didn't buy it on Xbox.
oh, snap. But
That's
it
really
doesn't.
where the platform war was won or
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
Was when the goddamn wagon wheel cases came in. That's when everybody jumped ship.
Yep.
Actually,
True.
didn't the PS3 or didn't the Wii have a form of wagon wheel case where they had like the recycle?
Yeah, it was a grid.
It was a grid. Yeah, that's right.
The 3DS does that too, right?
Yeah.
3DS does the grid.
I like
Yes,
those
it
when
does.
they actually make the backside fit in the grid. I think they're
Yeah, was
neat.
it Mario 3D Land that did that, where you opened up
I
and there
think
was like little
Nintendo
icons?
did it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Japanese version of Luigi's Mansion 2 apparently does that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Before you start your outro, I want to plug
Mhm.
the Press Row podcast. So the wonderful Rich Grisham, who I finally got to meet in
Oh
person.
yeah, and I did
took
as
us out
well.
for dinner actually on a Saturday night. Thanks a lot, Rich.
Yes, thank
met
you,
Met a
Rich.
bunch of people that night. TJ Lauerman of That Sports Gamer, which was cool as well. I've known him for a while. Got to see Craig Kuyava of Dive Kick fame, among other things.
That's right, Iron Galaxy Studios.
Iron Galaxy Studio.
How
Anyway,
much are they going to charge for that game, by the way?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Rich asked
Good
me to
insight
be on.
from your
Yep.
close personal friend, Craig
Right.
Tuyava.
I didn't
Thank
say
you.
close personal friend. All I know is he said lizard brain a lot, but he may have been drunk.
He was drunk.
He was drunk. We had a sidler at
Confirmed.
dinner, by the way.
Oh yeah, we did.
You what?
Some guy came up. What's his name? Alex. At the end of the night, Craig and who was the other guy who showed up? His
Adam
Sony,
Boyes.
somebody from Sony. Yes.
Yeah.
They were sitting at the end of our table, and they were both feeling no pain. And suddenly, this guy appears next to them and introduces himself as Alex. And,
He was just a PAX attendee. He wasn't.
yeah, we were just kind of.
Oh.
So he shook everyone's hand at the table, and he sat there. He's laughing really loudly at all the jokes and getting in on all the conversations. And at one point, I turned to CJ. I was like, "Who the fuck is Alex?" And CJ's
Nobody
like,
knew. He was
"I
just
don't
a sidler for the whole thing. It was pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
And then one of you woke up in a bathtub full of ice with a note that said your kidneys were gone.
Yes.
Anyway,
Follow Doctor immediately.
Rich had a panel on Sunday at PAX about sports games in the next generation, which he asked me to be part of. So thank you very much. And he posted the audio as the latest Press Row podcast.
I
for
just listened to
Operation
that
Sports.
today, by the way. And
Yeah,
I
did I make a fool of myself?
I would say it is a must listen for sports games fans. It's very good.
Cool.
I think the Press Row podcast is anyway, but this was a
Well,
really
it
good
is,
panel.
yeah.
It was good.
Cool.
Some good questions from the audience too. It was obvious that people there were actually sports games fans, which is cool.
Yes, definitely. So please go take a listen. OperationSports.com, I believe, is where you can get it.
Yeah, and you know what? Mr. Phil Theobald
Yes.
and friend of the show, Ethan Einhorn, were on this week's episode of the Stream On Show,
That's
which you can
true.
find at streamonshow.com.
Talking
And,
about bad movies.
We talked about the Garbage Pail Kids movie for about an hour.
God.
So
That is 59 minutes longer than is warranted for that movie.
we
That
talked,
is true.
We talked about 80s collectible toys as well for
Yes.
some of that.
What would Phil know about that?
Not much.
Exactly. So go to streamonshow.com/1010 for that. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's about all I got for this week. Let's sign it off.
Goodbye.
I just got away from Finn.
All right, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for listening. You got a question or comment or one of those things? You can head on over to Player1Podcast/335 for the show notes on this episode, and you can post your comments right there, or you can tweet it to us at P1Podcast on the Twitter. But if you're at player1podcast.com, you can also check out our blog entries, and Stuart just did one on Jurassic Park for Sega CD.
The best version of Jurassic Park ever.
I love that game. Love that game. Finished
The
that
best
game. on
real
Sega CD.
Jurassic Park game ever. How about that?
That's a graphic adventure.
Graphic adventure.
I did love that game.
I don't finish too many of those, so you know it's good when I do, or something like that. You'll find links to our Twitter, the YouTube channel that we have, subscription information, and links to the Stream On show and Points of Articulation, which Phil is already on,
That's true.
is also on, and Generation 16 episodes
All the VO is done for episode 8. So
from Mr.
I'm doing
Stewart.
the editing and I'm done.
That's a
Phil
happy
is
baby
throwing
noise.
his child.
That's
That
some
is a happy
baby,
baby noise.
happy
hey,
baby
Hog,
noises.
Here's Pooh Bear.
And you'll find a message board there where you can discuss this episode and Mike's hate of Bioshock Infinite with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
You know, we never tell people how to unsubscribe.
Well,
From the
we
Player One
don't want to. I feel
It's
like we're
actually
gonna get.
impossible.
I feel like we're gonna get some of those this week, just from
Yeah.
Bioshock
Mike's
people.
been
But
ruining
anyway,
the show from
Because
the
of me?
inside out.
Oh my god.
all because
You need to put
of
in the
Mr.
notes when
Phillips.
I'm supposed to like a game,
Yeah.
so I know.
If you'd like to unsubscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by unplugging your computer and throwing it away, purchasing a new computer,
Setting it on fire.
and then neglecting to subscribe to the Player One Podcast on that computer.
Yes.
That's good advice.
Thank you very much. Player One Podcast iPhone application gives you one-touch communication with us via the voicemails, the emails, the Twitter, what have you. We also have our past every episode ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android, cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application will be your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
You can find that right over there at the Android Amazon Marketplace. You can also check us out on the Stitcher Radio. And you can see us live. See us. That is not a misspoke. You can see us
Yeah.
on the YouTubes most weeks. Seward is holding up his copy of Luigi's Mansion to
And
the
that is
YouTube.
awesome.
That
I can't see
is-
the 3D though,
Yep.
so
And
3D
wait a
effect's
second.
not working.
Wait a second. I
Fair.
think we're seeing a reflection of me in
That's right.
Seward's 3DS.
That's pretty nice.
This is how
This-
Bioshock Infinite ends.
That is truly haunted.
This is the magic that you people
Well,
just listening to the show
Doesn't it end
won't
like
see.
Enslaved ended, where you're looking
with-
at
that
Andy
with
Serkis's
Andy Circus and FM.
ugly mug?
Oh my god.
That made me love that game so much
Oh
more.
my god.
That
It's
was
like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
That's the
No,
big
that was-
giant fuck you to the
that was-
entire game.
Absolutely.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
So you can see us live on the YouTube most weeks. Just follow our Twitter to find out when we will be broadcasting our next episode live. CJ?
Yes.
It was a treat seeing you the other day.
Yeah, it was good seeing you too, Phil.
Yes. Greg?
Yo.
It was a treat not having to see you the other day.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it was great to hang out with you, Mr. Greg.
There is a wonderful picture of the two of us making the rounds on the internet. By
Is
the way,
there?
where I'm nestled into your shoulder.
Wow. What?
I'll find
I
out.
remember
We'll
that.
post
It
it.
must have
and no shirt. One guy
we'll
wearing
post it.
shirts and no pants.
Well, you can't see us from the waist down, so God knows what's happening down there.
I have that picture that I took as we were about to play The Last of Us, where there's that expression of, I've been waiting in line for 2.5 hours, this better be good, on your face.
And it was really good, by the way.
But a horrible t-shirt. Terrible t-shirt.
That is a terrible t-shirt. But the sponge brick was nice.
You guys bitching about your free t-shirts. You're ridiculous.
I played The Last of Us, and all I got is this shitty t-shirt.
Hey, Mike,
Phil.
would you wear a t-shirt that just had the Last of Us logo on there?
Yes.
I would do that.
Probably
That's not what this shirt is.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
see,
probably
Mike
not do
knows. Mike knows.
I should. I
What
should.
does he
let,
know? He doesn't like Bioshock.
Yeah, exactly. You going to him for validation on your...
Really?
I need to let my myriad followers know that thanks to their good nature and support, I have reached my 3rd stretch goal, and so I will be shaving this beard tonight. And
Really?
on the next episode, you will see me clean shaven and
from
as
her-
soft as the upper inner thigh of a baby, which is even softer than its ass.
Nice.
Yep.
You're right about that.
Oh my goodness.
How much did that stretch goal take to get to?
$23.
$80,000.
It was $23.
Okay. That's good.
Yep.
So, I guess next week.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk next week.
Okay.
Happy
Later.
April Fools.
Oh God,
April
help
Fools
us all.
to you.
It's Easter. We're recording on Easter.
Actually, Mike hating Bioshock Infinite was our April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
We're recording a new episode to apologize for that next week.
Man. And this is the
kid.
guy who thinks that Little Big Planet's good.
Yeah, really. What the hell does he know?
Oh my goodness.
All right, next week.
Okay. Next week.
Bye-bye.
Do it again.
Toodaloo.
You are the ones that fuel my hate.
It is you who are the ball lickers.
Golden geese. I got it. I got it.
Huh?
Golden geese. Golden geese. There we go.